What's going on, everybody? Welcome on in to episode number 112 of Unsportsmanlike Conduct. And before I even introduce this squad here, I want to get out of the way. Because I thought of it right as we went on that this is a little eagle-ish color-wise, my shirt, and I want to this is a Happy Gilmore shirt. Just tap it in, okay? Just want to get that out of the way. Definitely not swinging that way. But we are swinging the A-Team's way this week, Timmy T.
Just That's right,
two
baby.
Of us, the original, the A-Team. What's going on, my friend? How's it going?
30 minutes tight. 30 minutes tight and keep it. No, I mean,
the weather. Talk about the weather.
I didn't want to talk about the weather. Let's put it this way. Today was 37 and it felt like the Bahamas. That's how nice it was today. Other than that, it's been brutal, man. We've had a brutal winter. Snow, I don't want to jinx that, but that hasn't been bad so far. But yeah, temperature wise, it is brutal out there. And we had no heat for a couple days.
Oh my God.
So I literally lived in a hoodie and the hats and in front of like a little tiny portable heater, and it was horrible.
Well, it didn't get that bad for us down here, obviously. Not way down south where I am in Florida, but North Florida, Pensacola got 4 inches of snow.
That's insane. I can't even imagine that.
Panhandle, that's nuts. Obviously, school's closed because nobody knows how to handle themselves. But you know what? They deserve it. You know what? They deserve it because how often do the kids get to play in the snow in Florida? Give them a day off.
I'd close the school too if it's snow, just in 4 inches, just for the hell of it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Meanwhile, back in my day, it took that blizzard in '96 to close schools for the first time in my era. Yeah, probably yours too. Yeah,
that was a bad one. That was just snow for days.
It was. I think the anniversary was in January, so it's got to be close.
Yeah, that one definitely.
Well, obviously it's just the two of us. There's other guys slacking off as per usual. But we got to cover some things here, Timmy. It's January, so obviously we're going to talk about the Chiefs. We're going to talk about what happened this past weekend in the AFC and NFC Championship game. The crazy drama continues with Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. It is gotten to the insane levels. If it could get even more insane than when it started. And then we got some new head coaches. We'll talk about.
And I want to hear your opinion on Mr. Pete Alonso, because it's still heated up here. So I want to hear your opinion on that. I'm sure you guys have talked about it on your show, but
I do have an opinion. We haven't had a show recently, but I do have an opinion.
All right,
for sure. All right, let's get to it right after this. Timmy, I did it. I updated it.
I didn't even notice.
I
was blowing my nose, looking at my phone, and taking a drink. Damn it! I'll have to watch it again after the show's over. Fair. I'll watch it again.
All right. All right. Let's. I typically, obviously, the big news is football. But just to get this drama-filled nonsense from down here out of the way here a little bit, the Miami Heat Jimmy Butler saga that continues on, Timmy, if you could believe it. Since the last we spoke on this show, Jimmy Butler's been suspended 2 more times. Not sure if you heard what he did last week to the team, but basically left his entire team on an airplane on the tarmac for 2 hours waiting for him, and then said, "Hey, I'm gonna go separate." And before he can get on said separate flight, he was told your attendance in Milwaukee is no longer required. You can go ahead and stay back. And then that 2-game suspension comes to an end, and what does he do? He walks out of practice, and he has now been suspended indefinitely, Timmy. So really what they're saying is this is Pat Riley versus Jimmy Butler. And Pat Riley, how he is as an executive. He's let Shaq walk. He's let LeBron, Wade, Bosh, them all just go. Now it's Jimmy Butler's time. Jimmy Butler's always been the cancer that he is now showing to be in Miami. And so, Timmy, the two things here. Obviously, I want to hear what you have to say about this jackass just skipping out on practice, leaving the team on the tarmac. But then also now, Pat Riley first said, "I ain't trading you. I'm not gonna make you happy." Now it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's a foregone conclusion. And now he's obviously he's now accepting lesser offers, so more teams can get involved.
Duh.
But Timmy, if you are on the Miami Heat and you're on the plane and you're waiting for Jimmy Butler to get there, and then he just flat out says, "Nah, meet you guys there."
I never would have waited. Period. Never. Listen, these players have schedules and dress codes and all this shit for a reason. The minute he's not there, he's not here. We're all sitting down, we have our seatbelts on, tray tables up, ready to go. He's not here. Goodbye. Leave his ass behind. I don't think this shouldn't even been like an issue. Like, what are you waiting for? Go. He's a head case. He's a problem. Just go, man. And this is his way of wanting to get traded. I mean, that's a set of walls. Instead of just like, listen, I don't want to play for your organization anymore. Please trade me. No, I'm going to make you wait, and then I'm going to walk out on practice. And he is just another wacko in the NBA, man. And,
Yes.
and but you said now Pat Riley needs to just swallow that pride and say, all right, I am going to make you happy. I'm going to trade you, but I'm going to trade you to, some team. I don't know, somewhere.
Well, here's now the flip side. Now, what was reported today that there are actually teams that wanted to be involved in the conversation. When the price got lower, but now he walks out of practice. He's been suspended 2 more times since then. So, and now how do you know what he's going to do as far as impacting your team next year? You're going to give up a decent haul for him because he's a very talented player. Not to go against that, but now if you're like a middling team that's trying to get to that top 3 position, top 4 position, you're not going to give up as much for this head case now, because who the hell knows what he's going to do? He might pull Antonio Brown and say, "Peace out, I'm done."
It's true. It's kind of a no-win situation for both of them. What do you do? It's a no-win situation. But do I want him? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's one of these teams fighting for those last spots might want to make a move, or one of these teams that has 37 draft picks in the next 3 years might want to say, "Hey, we'll give it a shot." But yeah, I mean, in my team personally, I'd be like, "No. We're good. We'll sit with what we
that's
got."
the thing. We've seen the story. These are multiple chapters in the Jimmy Butler. The Bulls, the Timberwolves, the Sixers. After a year, now the Heat.
Oh, I remember he was the second coming when he was on the Bulls.
Oh yeah,
he was the closest thing with Jordan we're ever going to see, and he's going to be the best, the second greatest Bull of all. Nah, dude, not even close.
Pretty far. I don't like Jordan, but pretty far. And there was that whole is he really Jordan's kid? Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So, are you going to want to interrupt whatever chemistry your team has that's trying to get towards the playoffs and beyond? And
it would have to be a real bargain. But knowing Pat Riley, my prediction, he'll end up suspended for the rest of the year, and he'll figure it out at the end of the season. That's going to be my prediction.
And then they beat the Magic without him.
Yeah,
you see, get the cancer out, things run much more smoothly.
True.
All right, let's get into the weekend NFL games, and then on the other side, we'll talk a little baseball. All right. So first off, the Eagles take the Commanders apart. Really, after that, like first half of a quarter. I don't like that the score got completely out of hand with all the turnovers and everything, because it makes it look a little worse than what it was. It makes it look like Hurts played much better than he did. Finally cracked 200 yards in a playoff win. And Barkley goes off again, and just I picked the Commanders, so I did. I did them in. But not a very exciting game. I mean, it was like an 11-point game. At some point in the fourth quarter, and the final score was what, 55. Yeah, it's turnover after turnover. But yeah, the Commanders had an opportunity, but this is the game for me. Kind of caught up with the rookie quarterback, and made Hurts look a little bit better. What's your thoughts on?
Yeah, and Philly, I haven't really watched too much Philly this year because I can't stomach them. So, but they're, dude, and again, I'm not taking anything. I'm not the bitter Giants fan. I'm not taking anything away from Saquon, but that dude's running behind one of the best offensive lines I've ever seen. Those guys are insane. Again, not taking anything away from Saquon, but that's a huge part of his yardage that he had this year. It really is.
Yeah.
That line is absolutely insane. And on the flip side, it's the best their defensive line. It's the best I've seen their defensive line play so far this year. Also, they can keep that going, man. They have a shot at winning, and it hurts just to even say that. But yeah, they were. I'm not surprised you picked the Commanders. I was close to picking the Commanders too. But the rookie quarterback and all that stuff, I think was finally going to catch up with them, so I didn't pick them. But at least I can say they're not fugazi. They're not fugazi. I think they are a legit, young, good, viable team that's going to be good for the next couple of years.
Yeah. No, I agree there. I went with the Commanders because I thought Jalen Hurts was going to. And he kind of. I know there was the one big throw down the left sideline, but he cracked 200 yards. I thought it was going to be another one of his games where in the playoffs he's got 140 yards and whatnot.
Did you see Barkley's quote? Is we want to prove that you can win a game by just running people over, running it down their throats, running. And what is that code for? We don't trust our quarterback. I don't care what he said. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
That's exactly what it is. That's code for this dude can't throw. So we're gonna run, and that's exactly what they did. Another 200-yard game for this dude. So
yeah, and we know we watched how great Barkley could be and how great he looked, even behind every single year shitty ass offensive line, and he made some crazy plays. Now, if you would almost be able to just like make believe it's a different color jersey on him, it's like a lot of fun to watch him. Even with the offense that once the one that he broke off,
and he's as angry as we were as Giants fans, though he's still a very likable guy. He's still very kind of humblish. He's still very, it does suck. It does kind of, but he's still a very good guy. And there were a lot of Giants in attendance rooting for him.
Yeah. So that shows you what kind of teammate.
You don't see that shit in sports very often. A rival team.
And he had him in his suite.
Yeah, a rival team in his suite, watching him go to the Super Bowl after all the drama that went on last year. So good for him. I'm happy. But this also proves that when people say the greatest running back of all time, I'll never say Emmitt Smith, because can you imagine Barry Sanders running behind this line? Running behind the Cowboys' 90s offensive line? Dude would have been unstoppable. Yep. So, but it's just proof. But you know what, Taekwon, good for you. I do hope you win, because I can't stomach another Chiefs Super Bowl. I really can't.
We can't go that far, Timmy. Can't go that far to.
I wish Saquon could win, but the Eagles not. I wish I could.
Yeah. No, but to your point with the line, also it felt like at times that guys were just picking up Commanders' offensive linemen and defensive linemen and just kind of
the first touch was a touchdown. The first touchdown, there was nobody near him.
Yeah,
nobody.
Huge hole just opened up.
I was like, "What just happened? How does that even happen on a professional team?"
And then you don't want to be on you don't want to see Saquon running full force at you trying to stop him because you ain't gonna do it. He's spinning, he's ducking, he's hurtling backwards.
He's all thigh. Those thighs coming at you at full speed. Thigh and calf.
All right. Well, so I guess one of the questions is Jaden Daniels, obviously. So we had different time periods where we thought differently of him throughout the season. He started off okay, then he got that rib injury and he kind of fell off a little bit, but then he just played crazy, like mistake-free rookie football after that. And I don't think that this one game changes it. They beat the Bucks on the road, beat Detroit on the road. Not again. If you know me, it's not. I'm not saying he did it, but the team did it with him as the quarterback. And they hung with the Eagles into the fourth quarter, wherever all the onslaught of points came. So
the NFC East is not a fun place to play anymore.
I don't like it.
I don't like it
either.
They got the Cowboys.
Is he already the best quarterback in the NFC East?
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at that.
Absolutely, I'll say he is. No, without a doubt in my mind, he is.
That's crazy. On a side note, did you hear what Chris Canty said?
No, what did he say?
He said Joe Burrow is not elite.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He said the stats are padded. They built this whole offense around him, and why? How could he not get this team to the playoffs? And so whoever was on the panel with him was like, defense. And because he compared him to, he said, but the Broncos got to the playoffs with Bo Nix.
Yeah, Bo Nix had a good year.
He did have a good year, and the Broncos played a little bit better defense. You remember what was the stat that didn't like 9 touchdowns in 2 games against the Ravens? Lost both of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
9 touchdown passes.
Yeah. No interceptions.
Like 900 yards and 9 touchdowns, and lost both games.
That's ridiculous. I like Chris. He's a good dude. I actually talked to him many times at work, but that's a little crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot crazy, actually.
Yeah. Yes. All right. So
look, one day I want to bring it up when we're full force. I know Troll's going to want to go off, but we have to do another redraft too. I want to do another redraft what we do one year because Mahomes is getting the goat talk. He's almost the goat. He might be the goat. But what if he was drafted by the Giants, the Bills, whatever other team? Maybe it's just quarterback system head coach that works. Pat Mahomes might not be nothing if he got drafted to another team. We don't know.
Yeah.
So
they might not have opened it up for him. We might not have been seeing all these sidearm.
I mean, it took 10 years Geno Smith to become decent, just decent,
and then he faded again.
So I mean, you just never know. It might just be. I said I will take pride in the fact that I never liked Russell Wilson. I said he is a system quarterback. He is you put him on another team, he will not be as good as he was on Seattle, and I was mostly right about that.
Yeah. So. And that's funny because they were just talking about that today. Also, they were talking about what the Steelers should do at quarterback, and the projected contract for a Russell Wilson is 2 years, $78 million.
Jesus.
Which would make him a slightly higher paid than Baker Mayfield. Baker's 3 for 100 or something like that.
Baker deserves more than I hate to say it, but he does.
I would take Baker over Russell Wilson.
Absolutely. I never liked Russell Wilson, ever.
I know you never did. I hated him from fantasy perspective.
I thought he was fugazi.
In my ass. He was, because he was great in October.
Yeah.
And then there came that whole backlash of Russell Wilson's never even gotten no MVP consideration. And then when I don't remember what show it was back then, but they went through him like, when would he have gotten MVP consideration? This year, where he was 7th in passing yards and 6th in this category, etc. So
when he was
interesting,
or when he was on the Browns at all, anytime he didn't get no MVP consideration.
Zero. All right. Well, we'll see what happens with the Steelers with that stuff. But all right. So that's the Eagles. They advance, and then the game. I think the game of the year, that annual game of the year. It's like the it's like the fire department and police softball game.
Fucking Groundhog Day.
Every every single year it is this year they went back to Kansas City. So that's the way you switched it up to me. They mess it up that way. All right. Well, the Chiefs were favored by 1.5 and Chiefs win 32-29. That dejected look of Josh Allen on the side is what everybody's remembering. And every single year they ask him how it feels. Like, lay off the guy. Like, though you don't have to ask him these questions. It sucks. What do you say? It's not fun.
No.
And then he quoted Ric Flair.
Be the man, you gotta beat the man.
Be the champ. Well, he said champ. To be the champ, you got to beat the champ. And they couldn't get it done. Timmy, your thoughts on this one? This is the only one I went 1-on-1. You as well. What's your thoughts on this game, sir? I know your thoughts, but
yeah, I can't handle this Super Bowl again. I'm gonna make some bets and just sit back and be like, okay, whatever. No, look, they did what they did. Were there typical questionable calls? Absolutely.
I didn't see any of those.
I saw quite a few actually, but some they weren't as in your face as some of them were. I don't give a shit. Anyone says that was a catch on the receiver. That was not an interception. No freaking way. I mean, I saw the replay 5 times. I was like, there's no way. It either should have been an interception or incomplete.
Incomplete.
Those are the 2 options because the ball did kind of like hit the ground a little bit. Interception, incomplete.
But so they were talking about that on something that I was listening to, and they said that
catcher incomplete. They were on offense. Or on defense. I'm really
it
confused.
was the Chiefs were on offense.
Yeah, okay. So you should have been interception or incomplete.
Right. So they said incomplete, but they said that if it was incomplete, they feel like because there was a penalty anyway. So they felt that helped the Bills because then the Chiefs would have been at the 22 or something like that, and be able to run the clock more, potentially score without the Bills scoring. This way, the Chiefs scored and then the Bills scored right before half. Okay. So
I'll let that one go just for that explanation. Yep. But
I obviously dummy. I didn't think of that.
The one tush push where the judge who had a perfect view said first down, and the guy who couldn't
they're crossing like that,
and the guy who couldn't really see shit said no first down. Mm-hmm. And then they showed the overhead view, and it was obvious that fucking Josh Allen made a first down.
They were in different lanes, the refs.
When
they were running through
I think there were a ton of those, and they got to figure that out quick. There were a ton of fourth, or short calls, that they had to figure out a way to fix that without challenging it every goddamn time. I saw Kincaid went down. And yes. It should have been a first down. Nope, they didn't call it a first down. No, you got to figure out a way to fix that because that was a lot of those calls, and they all unfortunately they all went against the Bills, which is why it seems so bad.
But okay, so they were talking about how in tennis they have the little chip where they can show exactly where the ball lands and stuff. What's the harm in that? They want less involvement. They don't want less involvement from the refs.
Well, that overhead
view if they put a chip,
perfect.
If they put a chip on the ball, they can mark it just like in tennis. If tennis can do it, football can afford to do it.
It's true.
But that's what I'm saying. Do they want the refs to continue to have that power over the game, and they don't want to have a chip to mark stuff?
Well, exactly. seeing how the refs have done the last couple of years, it's time to figure something else out. But my absolute favorite one was the last play of the game where they threw a flag, but it was no penalty. And the conspiracy theorists are saying they threw the flag just in case he caught the ball. They're like, that ball.
Didn't they say there's a flag on the play? Wait,
Yeah,
They're saying there's a flag on the play, but
there's a
we don't
flag.
see it. Romo's like, no flag.
Yeah, there's a flag. No, there's no flag. They threw their flag just in case Kincaid or not whoever Knox caught the ball. If he did, they would have said, "Oh, no, penalty." But since he didn't catch it, they picked the flag up. I was like, "Wow, that's digging deep." But look, Casey does what Casey does, man, and they figured Kelsey was not good.
He was just there.
They fucking Mahomes. You can't let that guy run. They let him run, and that's their fault, the Bills' fault, and they do what they do.
And
that's
look, and they got the balls to do it too, right? That 4th and 5, where they just lined up. They snap. Romo was like, I don't think they're gonna snap, and they snap it right away, and he rolls out right, gets the easy first down. There, I also thought, this makes it difficult because Josh Allen is such a nice, likable guy, and to see him, 4 times now, just on the sideline. But yeah, he threw 2 what should have been picks, and I think it was the first drive.
First drive, yeah.
First drive, right? And so he got lucky there. Hollywood Brown, get his ass out of there. I would have cut his ass. What was that he did there? He stepped out of bounds. The ball was perfectly placed. Mahomes put it right where it should be, and this dude steps out of bounds.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, you said
that was Brady. Forget about it. Brady would have kicked his ass out of there. Here's some bus money. Get out of here.
I think actually Allen was a little rattled coming out, being in Casey.
Right off the bat, right?
That first drive was terrible. The first 2 drives were probably bad, and then all of a sudden they started clicking. Now they started
looking like it could have been a blowout at one point.
And then they were like, "Oh, maybe we should run with this James Cook guy. We heard he's pretty good," and that started opening things up for them.
Yeah, James Cook has been great all year. Sometimes they go away from him for multiple plays, even a whole series, and I don't understand it.
I don't get it either.
I don't get it. He's got the potential to be better than his brother.
It's true.
Dalvin. All right, so yeah, so that sets us up for another Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl. We'll put our picks up next week. Right before Super Bowl. Couple hires, Timmy. The Cowboys hired Brian Schottenheimer. Did you hear what Jerry Jones said at the press conference?
He's senile.
What?
He is senile. He is whacked out of his mind.
I would have been like, "Hey, Jerry, I can hear you. I'm right here." And he's like, "There could not be a more risky hire than this."
I don't think he just doesn't give a shit anymore. I really don't think. I think he just keeps collecting that money, that Cowboy money, that $1 billion franchise, and he's like, doesn't give a shit.
It's crazy. It's insane. Like, dude's sitting right there. You just hired him to lead your team.
Even we don't agree with Colin Cowherd, but see his little monologue about the Cowboys?
No.
And how Jerry Jones is taking this, famous American thing and turned it into a fucking joke. He just doesn't care. Because if he cared, he'd hire a general manager, a real general manager, to do the job. He'd stay out of it, and he's like, he just doesn't care. He's turned him into such a bad joke.
It is because what else did he say? The Derrick Henry didn't fit into our scheme.
Yeah.
Okay. What he's doing there?
If you sign Derrick Henry, you make a scheme.
Yes.
You change your schemes.
Yeah, and then you got Dak is a $91 million cap hit next year. $91 million.
$1 million.
And Jaden Daniels is $8 million against the cap next year. And who would you rather have?
Yeah,
it's a messy situation, and I know Schottenheimer is coming from within an organization, and Jerry Jones then says, riskiest move, no head coaching experience, but he's done that too before with what feels like an elite team on the field with the Clapper, and then this guy you get rid of McCarthy. And what I don't get the sense, like, this doesn't help you. So is he just like, all right, fuck it, I'm not spending money on a big name head coach because this team is not ready no matter who I get. Maybe he's finally realizing that he doesn't know how to build a team.
I hope so. Maybe.
Is this something clicking?
Maybe
How old
he
is
is
he?
smarter than
82,
all of us.
83?
No, he's really. I mean, as a Giants fan, I I do the Jerry Seinfeld. That's a shame, but he is ruining that franchise. He's just
Saw Seinfeld.
yeah.
I saw him.
He's taking it. He's taking it from well, the 90s were a long time ago, so fuck them. Who cares? They haven't been great since then. So you know what? I'm going to shut up because screw them and their American status or whatever the hell America's team bullshit.
Which is dumb too, because and now I think there's some Cowboy fans that are kind of starting to fall back a little bit. Finally, after how many years not winning a Super Bowl, but like this is now going to become a thing for them. Like, okay, yeah, you had been winning 12, 13 games a year, but now the talent is dwindling down. The cap hits are going up. You got to sign your other guys here. And now you got a rookie head coach. You have no idea what he might be. He might be better than McCarthy, whatever. But now you got this rookie head coach, this so-so quarterback at a $90 million cap hit that can't stay healthy.
Who's for Geely?
Yeah, exactly. And then that's it. What you got? CeeDee Lamb, who at a moment's notice can Antonio Brown you and just walk away.
Which I would not be surprised.
And Parsons still got to get paid.
Parsons is walking.
Listen, this is we like this. This is our entertainment for the year.
Yeah, we have to sit and watch the Redskins go from 4 wins to the NFC title game. At least the Cowboys entertain us.
Somebody called them the Redskins on one of the shows.
They're the Redskins. Still a
thing. Did you see who they hired for defensive coordinator?
No, who they hired?
Matt Eberflus.
Eberflus. Wow.
Eberflus is a Cowboy.
It's like the mediocre All-Stars. Yes. Coming in to coach the Cowboys.
And then the other hire, Pete Carroll, who, as soon as the season starts, will become the oldest head coach in the history of the NFL. Goes to the Raiders. Some legitimacy, at least, maybe as at the heck. You got Brady as a minority owner. You got Pete Carroll, a well-respected head coach.
I would have kept Antonio Pierce. Give him another year.
I agree. That was a bummer.
I didn't see the Pete Carroll thing coming though.
No.
But you know what? Sometimes you said even Seattle, all the success you have in Seattle, sometimes you just need a new blood. You just got to move on.
And they said Brady was really pretty heavily involved in the coaching search. So maybe there was some truth to him reaching out to Belichick to see if he'd.
I'm sure he did.
That's like
I'm sure he did.
There's got to be like an under the table. Like if that would have happened, Brady says, "My bad. He's gonna come back here. Here's some his little cash money under the table. Go sign."
There was even
players.
a rumor Gruden was going to come back. Gruden said he would have signed, even though he has a lawsuit against the NFL and the team.
Oh yeah, what he was talking about?
He would have came back. Yeah, he would have came back.
Well, what's his name? The owner said Gruden has had his head chopped off, and he and what's his name? The owner's
Davis.
Yeah. So he said that he thought he was bringing legitimacy with Gruden, but he got his head chopped off. So he said
the family of the worst toupees in the history of mankind. Every single one of them.
So is this I think this might be the 4th head coach now that the Raiders are going to be paying right now. Josh McDaniels, John Gruden, Antonio Pierce, and Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll, the gum chewer.
Yeah, the very rabid gum chewer. All right. Last thing on football, because we didn't get a chance to talk about it last week, was that whole thing. Mark Andrews, dropping the 2-point conversion, and then not acknowledging the media. There's a lot. There was a lot that was talked about. Some people, like if it was somebody else, it would have gotten blasted. But he kind of got a little bit of a pass. But it's their job to go and speak. Like it's in their contract.
Yeah.
They got to. I get it. I could not even imagine being in that situation where I'm an all-time great at my position, and I drop the ball that stops me from beating that other team, and then just letting down the whole team. But I it bothers me when I'm watching a press conference and they just go at it on this guy. Like, okay, you dropped the ball, you fumbled, and all this stuff. That like it's I don't know what that's called, but it's like embarrassing for you, feeling the embarrassment for them.
You got douche
It's like
chills.
yeah, I guess.
That's what I call it. I call it douche chills.
Okay.
When you feel so out of like you feel uncomfortable watching something that's nothing
Yeah.
to do with you. You get douche chills. That's
Yeah,
what
all
I
right.
call them.
Yes, that's it. Like it's like I don't want to be in that room. I don't want to be a part of this. Like I'm embarrassed that poor guy has to go through this.
Like Michael Scott gave you douche chills all the time because of all the dumb things he said, and you just feel uncomfortable. That's exactly what it's
Yes.
like.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. That's it. That's okay. Yeah. So I get it, and I couldn't imagine being in that position where I have to talk to the world about my fucking mistake that I made.
No,
Like I'm
I
not
get
gonna
it
lose sleep
too.
on it.
I get it too, but I at least would have went out there, like I said, as part of the contract. I would have said, listen, I dropped the ball. It fucking sucks. I let my team down. I let the city down. I let the organization down. I'll see you next season. I gotta go. At least just
Yeah.
make a quick statement. Then if they want anything after that, I'll see you next year.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
That's it. And I guess not the bigger problem, but like if I'm his teammate, like Lamar had to then field the questions that were gonna be Mark Andrews, like so he had to continue. So, but I thought Lamar did a really good job where he kind of owned it and just spoke generally about mistakes that happened because he made mistakes too. So I felt like Lamar actually stepped up, good leadership there, and said, it sucks, and he apologized for his language. Like people don't say that shit, worse shit there, but I thought Lamar stepped up, even in the loss.
Yeah, I think so too. But yeah, I mean, I see both sides of the story. You just lost the game on a pretty I don't say it was routine, but on an easy catch. He said
He catches that 999 out of 1,000
yeah,
times. He catches that.
he's an all pro tight end. They lost. I get it, but yeah, just come out there. Listen, guys, I feel like shit. I let you down. I let my teammates down. I'm not talking. That's it. Walk off.
Yeah.
That's it. You did your job. And if anyone says anything else, I'll say, so you know what? Find me. I did what you're supposed
Oh,
to do.
look at what Marshawn Lynch did all those years. I'm just
Yeah,
here so you don't find me.
yeah, exactly.
Because it's idiotic. It's like some of the questions and like some of the reporters. It's like an embarrassment. Like, why would you ask that question?
Yeah, so you just suffered the worst possible loss in your life. Well, I mean, other than family stuff, but like the worst thing that could possibly happen to you. So how do you feel? What do you mean? How do I feel? Stupid. How do you
Yeah.
think I
See,
feel?
yeah. Like I feel both of us would be like the Antonio Brown of press conferences. Like, oh, I just fucked up my team's chances to get to the AFC Championship game. How the fuck do you think I feel, asshole?
Yeah. I'd be the opposite. How do you feel? Awesome.
Yeah, I'm
Feel great.
great.
Feel great. Got money, got
Thanks for
fame,
checking in.
got a house, got a nice wife and kids and all. I'm doing good. How are you doing? Gonna go see Captain America in a couple weeks. I'm doing
That's
good.
right, baby. That's right. All right. So we'll talk more about the actual Super Bowl itself, and we'll get into some of the commercials and all that fun stuff next week. And we'll get to our picks, and we'll try and win some money, get some over unders and whatnot. Let's close out with some baseball here, Timmy. Pete Alonso, the fuck.
Wait. By the way, before you said, did you see the thing I sent you with the Dodgers as the NWO? How
Yes,
great was that? How great was that? And it's true. Like
it's happening.
they're all walking out. I'm like, this is just not right. This is not right.
It's ridiculous. I mean,
But
it's
yes, Pete
insane.
Alonso, the polar bear.
Yeah, he's gonna go and be backup first baseman DH over there. They're gonna pay him $30 million. Listen, Pete's screwing himself left and right here.
Well,
He
that's why
got
I wanted to ask you, because again,
yeah.
this is, whether Dave or even Anthony wants, this is a Saquon Barkley thing. They've been trying to sign him for 2 years.
Yep.
And now Stephen Cohen hasn't been around that long. He hasn't been around that long. What year is this for him?
This is going to be his 5th year
Okay,
already.
So there you go. Yeah, that went by fast.
I know.
So
right?
So there you go. You're like, there you go. I've been trying to sign a guy for 3 years. He said no, and then he hires Boris. Fuck him. It's the same. Joe Shane just came off a lot worse because it was on stupid Hard Knocks, and it came off.
Yeah.
And of course, you got John Maris saying, I won't be able to sleep if he goes to the Eagles, and everything just happened badly. But this is the exact same situation, and I get what Steve Cohen's saying. I thought I'm exhausted. I don't want to do. I'm done.
Which I love that. I love that. That the whole thing was great, like the chance, but he had a 7-year, $158 million. 7 years, he's 30. Okay. 7 years, $158 million offer on the table, declined, right? Fine. You want to bet on yourself. He didn't have an awful year, but he had a down year for him. He's 40 home runs a year, 100 plus RBI. I brought his average up a little bit. He plays much better defense than what people give him credit for. I'll give him that. But it was not the right season to only hit 34 home runs and drive in only 88 runs or something like that. But now you get to the off season. Now the offer's 3 for 90. It's got to go along with the performance of how you performed last year. Yes, we'll take into consideration you're a Met. You're a lifelong Met. You shoved the F in between the L and the G in the LFGM. You were the guy who was ripping clothes off, the polar bear, talking like a rah guy. So to even offer you, like, that makes you the highest paid first baseman in baseball, $30 million a year. That puts you ahead of Bryce Harper, who's now a first baseman. Puts you ahead of whoever else is at first base. And so then you say, okay, no, maybe the Blue Jays are entertaining you a little bit. I heard a little bit about the Angels. But, Timmy, we watched free agents, first baseman sign. We watched guys get traded. And we watched teams fill the hole that way. So now the offer is like 3 years, $70 million. Continue with the bullshit, and it's going to continue going down. Scott Boras, we know what Scott Boras.
I like when Boras loses. I do.
Yeah, you see Bregman. Didn't Bregman just fire him?
Yeah. And good. I said good for Steve Cohen
yes,
and you know what? And saying it on TV. I'm done. Like, I'm aggravated. Yeah. I've been trying to sign.
It's more exhausting than Juan Soto.
Yeah, I'm trying to sign a guy for 3 fucking years, and he keeps turning me down. And then he hires the snakiest, dirtiest fucking agent in the game. No, I'm not doing it. And he said it's getting lower and lower. And pretty soon, just go to the Cubs. Just go to the Blue Jays.
We'll give you a 1-year deal. I'd rather at this point just give him a 1-year contract. Whatever, 28. Give him $30 million. He's got it. Let him prove it. And then now you're third. Now next year you'll be 31, aging, and you're not the build to be aging gracefully.
Mm-hmm.
You're not Lindor, where you're athletic and all that other shit.
He's a first baseman, definitely.
A first baseman that's going to turn into a DH. And so, but we see what happens. But the Met fans in the crowd, in attendance at the Amazing Day, they were chanting, "We want Pete," and then they were chanting Pete Alonso. So Steve Cohen couldn't ignore it anymore. So he addressed it, and he says, "This has been exhausting. This is more exhausting than a $765 million Juan Soto. Could you imagine? This is more exhausting, probably because this guy has been a Met through and through. He bleeds orange and blue, and thought that it was going to be an easier time. But I mean, 7 years for 158 sounds pretty good right now, Pete, right?
I mean, come on. And so you're locked into you're 37 years old, playing for the team you want to play for in the city you want to play in. He made a major mistake.
Because if he wants to go to his hometown team, it's Tampa. What you getting out of there?
Yeah,
They don't even have their roof finished yet after the hurricane.
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't see that.
Is he gonna like the Blue Jays just sign what's his name Santander from the Orioles? So they don't. Are they looking for the power anymore? The Mets checked in on Vlad Guerrero, so that alone let you know that they were
They got the Yankees
looking
got
past.
Goldschmidt or Pete Alonso be wearing pinstripes, and
Yeah, he would.
a lot of your heads would be exploding right now.
He would. Yeah, as listen, as soon as the Mets signed Soto, I was like, the Yankees are going to try and sign Alonso. They're gonna try to hit us right there where it hurts.
Yep.
But pitchers and catchers report in a little over 2 weeks, Timmy.
Couple weeks. Yeah.
In there.
Hey man, I mean, just from my point of view, I think the Yankees are a way better team than they were last year. Right now.
Yeah.
So thank you, Juan, for lighting a fire under
Yeah,
Madame's ass.
Yeah, of course. You get a bunch of guys for the same price, or a whole lot less. What was the compare? Oh, the Soto's contract is bigger than the Braves' entire lineup contract. First of all,
Which
if
I
I'm
don't
one
know.
of the Braves
How does that
players,
make sense?
yeah, because the Braves they sign their guys like after the second year, and they sign them to like 40-year contracts for $2 million a year.
As I was saying, every
They
time we turn
signed
around,
it.
the Braves are signing one of their superstars for
Yeah,
barely anything for 10 years.
yeah. What's Acuna's salary? What's Acuna's contract? Who doesn't play anything anymore? That continues to get hurt. Uh, and we got his little brother. Acuna is signed. Well, what did he do? 50. What did he do that year? 40 home runs, a billion stolen bases. 8 years, 100 million.
Yeah, that's a bargain now.
Annual salary is 17 and a half.
The Braves
I
probably
mean,
sold
12 and a half. 12 and a half $1 million.
12 and a half. That's a ripoff now. You think about it, it's a ripoff.
We signed Sean Manaea last year for a year for 15.
That's crazy. But like I said, I was wondering because it's the same as the Giants with Barkley. They tried. He kept saying no, no, no. But you know what? Barkley won because he basically he bet on himself.
Yeah.
Not just him though, but I was saying this every running back.
All the running back,
that,
Jacobs,
that got criticized for not being the important position anymore, for not being this. All of them went out and were like, "Oh yeah."
What you think about it? It's pretty cool.
They were going to show you now that how
Yeah.
much you need one of us running backs, and they went out and they did it. Running backs might be back up in fantasy again next year.
And what were we gonna pretend to offer him? What did he out of $7 million?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I don't know. But I kind of get it.
You see, like you exposed yourself on Hard Knocks. But getting back to that, you exposed yourself on Hard Knocks. You said dumb shit while you knew cameras were running.
Yeah,
and you got the kids sitting on the couch that was telling you exactly what you needed to do. Wait, by the way, Neighbors is a Pro Bowler.
Yep.
He replaced him for Amon-Ra St. Brown. So, I mean, and if you think about it, I know I'm digging deep here, but we talked about it on We Stomped You Out, and we'll do maybe next week. We'll do a season recap. Season recap. But we've talked about on We Stomped You Out that Jones played the playoff year. You had Jones. You had a decent, probably the best offensive line that he played with. You had Barkley, and you didn't have much of anything else. What would have happened if Barkley would have re-signed? Not to say that this is a Super Bowl team, but Daniel Jones playing as Daniel Jones might have played when he did with Barkley that year. I don't know about the offensive line, but now you got Neighbors and the such. I don't know. Probably win a few more games, and at least give us a little bit of excitement.
Something. We need something. Anything. Anything. We need some
signs of life.
Jackson Dart.
Who Jackson Dart? The watch is on.
The watch is on.
The latest, the last thing that the last mock draft was Cam Ward going 1, Shedeur Sanders going 3 to us.
Yeah, and also, but I saw Sanders Hart, then we take Travis Hunter, and then
which is kind of what we'll get into that, but
we finagle, we pull some slick shenanigans because listen, if it works out this way, it's going to be the greatest year ever. Jackson Dart is moving up a lot of people's
yes,
boards.
not just ours.
A lot of people are saying that he's moving up in a lot of people's things, and the Giants are very interested in him, even before the Senior Bowl. They're saying they're very interested in watching him, and they're going to keep an eye on him.
Which is this week, right?
Yeah, if we get a guy named Jackson Dart, it's going to be the greatest thing ever. So we can get Hunter and him, and he turns out to be just good.
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm ecstatic.
Yeah.
Look, I like Sanders the way he plays, but it's the baggage. It's just
that's
the baggage.
that's what I'm afraid of. But then I don't know. Maybe Deion was telling the truth when he said he was good there in Boulder and didn't want anything to do with the Cowboys job, and when obviously moved on to Schottenheimer.
Mm.
I don't know.
We'll see.
It's what date is it this year? 26th?
Something like that. We're 2 short months away.
That's it. That's it.
To the most wonderful time of the year.
It is. And the most nerve-wracking time. Get shit right, Timmy. Get shit right.
No. Not Mel fucking Kiper.
Yeah, Kiper. Well, I don't think it was a Kiper one that I saw, though. It might have been like a CBS Sports, but...
Well, it's every draft I've seen so far, it's been mocking. It's been up and down, up and down, up and down, because Deion supposedly said he wouldn't mind his kid playing for Tennessee. So, right there, you got them Cleveland.
But did you hear what Tennessee's GM said? That
they're also willing to sell the first pick, yeah.
And said if there's a generational talent, no matter the position, you can't pass it up. Now,
is that Travis Hunter?
Maybe it's Travis, but how good at they showing their hand and whatnot. But that to me, if they're being upfront, which why would you at the with the number 2's pick, it would be Travis Hunter, because that's the one that you think is a guaranteed potential generational.
I don't remember the last time I seen a guy rated that high with the slash cornerback / wide receiver. Usually you get those guys down to the 6th round. He's an offensive tackle, tight end. Okay, I get it. But a cornerback wide a guy who won't come off fullback, the field. It's like that's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, fullback tight end always a big one.
Yep. Right. So. All right. Look at that nice little tidy little show here, Timmy, with the A-team, baby.
A-team does it tight.
Team.
That should be our shirt. That should be a shirt. The A-team does it tight.
Yes. No trolls around. Like, what game was it that he mentioned? This game. Why are we talking about Daniel Jones during the Eagles and Commanders?
He wants an apology for less.
And he says that Baker Mayfield lives in my head rent-free.
Look, he's just happy. I'll never have to get that tattoo. That's all he's happy about. He won that part.
All right. Let's get up on out of here, Timmy. What you got here on the way out?
I'm shocked that football's over. Like every year we say it just goes so fast. But like you said, baseball's coming up, basketball's heating up. The Rangers are starting to play a little better. Hopefully they can make some moves. Get me a little more excited about that. And yeah, I'm pumped up, man. Let's go.
There in the wild card.
That's right.
Couple points out, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. I think the Mets open the season down here. Got it. Looking at that, I'm sure I could, have my pick of seats.
Yeah, I'm sure they won't be sold out.
I could be in a different section in each inning. I could do there.
That's so sad.
And nobody's gonna bother me. And we're getting hockey next year. Outdoor hockey in Miami.
How?
I have no idea.
How is that possible?
Listen, nothing in that place goes right. So they're gonna be the Rangers and Panthers gonna be swimming midway through the second period.
No, that's you could probably kill one of these guys skating in slush.
And they're gonna do Tampa a couple weeks later.
Good luck with that. Listen, if they can revolutionize outdoor hockey in Florida, then you know what? Good for you guys.
That's
I,
it.
I just don't see it happening.
How much fun? Well, maybe they should go to Pensacola for that. All right. So what do we even have as far there's some some mid-level horror flicks that are coming out. It's January. Those are mid-level horror flicks because they'll start hitting late August, September on your on demand and all that bullshit.
Shit, sooner than
Uh,
that.
Heart Eyes, Romance is Dead. That we got like 1.5 billion cities that we're doing that in, including Phoenix and Seattle. Um, where else? North Carolina. We were in Atlanta for that one too. So check out popculturepros.com for all that good stuff. Keep you posted on all the good shit that going on in the world of sports, and we'll see what team we have here next week. If the tripod wants to get back together with Ant, you guys doing a Royal Rumble deal on Saturday?
Yes. Saturday we'll be doing. I don't know what time of day yet though, but we will be doing a Royal Rumble preview show. I'm very excited about the Rumble this year. I think it's finally going to be back to the old ways of exciting. A lot of potential returns. Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Carmella, plus a lot of the new. They made the deal with the TNA, so now you got any one of those wrestlers might show up. Dolph Ziggler.
Imagine, yeah, he's back in the Rumble.
Yeah, you just might see a lot of surprises this year. So let's go. Yeah, sometime Saturday, me and Dave are going to do the show. So we'll let you know.
Dolph he did that. That was the promo where he went off. He was saying sometimes the thing that you love doesn't love you back.
Yeah,
that was pretty damn good.
It was good.
Pretty damn good promo. Promo last night was good with Rhodes.
It's so funny though. The big move to Netflix. I don't watch it now because I'm used to it being on TV where I just flip the channels back and forth. Now it's like I have to go into Netflix and input select and I'm just like I haven't been watching it on like Monday nights. Like I watched it today in work.
I last night I don't remember if I was just delayed and popping it on because now because when it was on you I don't have cable. I'm a cord cutter, got rid of that shit. So now that it's on Netflix, I can more easily watch it. But they had said that once it's live, you can't go back until it's over.
So it's over, yeah.
But it works fine for me.
Really? Oh, that's good.
Because I remember it was like 8:40, so I went back to the beginning, kind of caught up, fast forward through the guys I don't know, because that's what I do. I wherever I know people, I jump in.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. No. But yeah, definitely entertaining.
Yeah, it doesn't pop up on my recording list now, so I forget.
Oh yeah.
Then I'm like, oh shit, it's Monday. Oh, fucking Netflix! I gotta put Netflix on, and then I forget. I was watching the SNL 3-hour music special last night, and I got wrapped up in that, which was pretty cool.
I was like, oh, I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah, it's all about 3 hours, just about the music,
just like music,
the musical guests. Yeah, and the opening, they did like an opening montage mix of all the a lot of the people that were on the show. They should sell that shit because that shit was great.
Wow.
Like a little mix of all.
So that's going to be on Peacock, and
should be on Peacock by now. Yeah, because it was on last night, so it's probably on Peacock now.
You know what's good? One of the what's the dude's name on Weekend Update? What's her name's husband? Colin Jost. Yeah, so I don't know. I was bored the other day and I was looking through shit and Pop Culture Jeopardy. So he hosts.
I heard about that.
Have you watched? Okay, it's fun. Like it's not all about money at the beginning because the winners get $300,000, and it's teams of 3, and there's people that like there's 3. There was one team that had been on Jeopardy that were at, like from the highest to the high, like Harvard and stuff, colleges, and they all lost. And now they get back together all these years later, and they're trying to win Pop Culture Jeopardy. So it's points until the finals, which like it's all kinds of crazy categories.
Netflix too, right? Is that Netflix?
No, it's Prime. It's on Prime. And they even have like some of the clues that maybe are pop culture related that happen in actual Jeopardy. They have Alex Trebek. He's reading from the original. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And he's hilarious. That weekend, the weekend update where they swap racist.
Did you see the one with Scarlett?
Yes,
and she just stood there going, "Wow."
Yes. And Jost is so funny. He's like, what? Like he'll be mid reading the joke and he'll be like, "Why?" He's funny. And then he was on one of the late night shows, and he was on The Weakest Link back in the day, and he was wearing a Harvard shirt. And they asked him, in the Northern Hemisphere, what season fall happens in August, and he said fall. And it's clearly still summer. And he was like, the most embarrassing part of that was I'm wearing a Harvard shirt.
It's true. But if you haven't watched the SNL Peacock special, it is good. There's like one episode completely dedicated to cowbell. One whole hour.
Can you imagine without that skit, we'd have no cowbell? Cowbell Man at Citi Field wouldn't exist.
It's great. The first one's about the audition, cowbell, then the writers and how the writers write the show, which is actually very fascinating. And then now the musical thing launched, which is great.
I remember because one of the documentaries about Chris Farley, they talked about how like all the comedians had their own like cubicles. So it was really like a back office, and like I'm imagining Chris Farley in a cubicle trying to write his jokes, Adam Sandler next to him, Dana Carvey and all these guys like in cubicles trying to write their jokes and not trying to fuck around.
Well, they even said that Farley never like wrote. Everybody wanted to write for him because he was so damn funny. So yeah, he's great. I hope they keep going and do a little piece on him. I don't know how long this is. It gonna be more episodes to this documentary? I don't know. So far it's 3 or 4, but all good.
I highly recommend it. Enough of Chris Farley is my boy.
If you like SNL, I highly recommend that doc. It's been pretty good.
All-star reliever Kirby Yates has signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers. They now have a 4-inning game with the relievers that they have.
I don't think they shouldn't play this year. They just give the Dodgers a trophy, and we'll just pick it up next year. It's insane.
You know what I'm mad about, Timmy? What I'm mad about? Mets finally have an owner that gives a fuck, and the fucking Dodgers are paying Shohei Ohtani $2 million a year
for 50 years.
What was it? $1.2 billion in deferred money they have.
That's insane.
So take your Bobby Bonilla stuff.
Yeah.
Blow it out of the water.
That's right. They took that to the next level.
Yeah, to be happy to pay Bobby Bonilla $1 million a year through it's coming up soon, actually. Ain't that some shit, Timmy? That's how we know we're getting old. Bobby Bonilla's extended contract is almost up.
Good. What was he going to do with himself?
I hope he's investing appropriately. All right, that does it for us for this week. We'll see you next week in lieu of the Super Bowl. And Timmy, make sure you watch it this time.
I'm watching.
Brand new. Brand new.
Right now.
One piece you're not gonna like. Other piece, I don't know. I just threw it in there. All right, we'll bid you adieu until next week. Peace out, everybody.
Ooh.
Mahomes swings at